Right, I had a question about the bromeliads on the trunk of the Trachycarpus here. So if you've got a tree fern with a decent trunk on it, or a Trachycarpus, or just any tree really, and you want to liven up the trunk a bit, then I think bromeliads are the obvious choice for a bit of summer interest, just due to the fact they are epiphytic, so they grow naturally on trees. So it does look natural to an extent, depending on how you place them. But so yeah, the question was, what types are they? Well, you can use any types. It just so happens I've got something a little bit more fancy than the ones you normally see. So this is what I'd say is your normal standard sort of unnamed variety, sort of green leaves. I tend to buy them after they're flowered, when they're sort of reduced, normally half price or something, just due to the fact that they do pup. So even though the main plant eventually will die after flowering, they normally have 2 or 3 pups around them. So if you get them, quite often see them reduced, or sometimes they literally give them away because they're, but like this one has got at least 4 or 5 pups around it, so eventually they will take over from the main one, which will die back, and you'll get flowers again at some point. But yeah, going back to the point, so these ones, this one I particularly like. I ain't really coloured up yet, so if you keep this one indoors, it's like a fireball type. And keep them indoors, they normally just have like what you're seeing here really is like a sort of creamy variegation, but eventually in bright light they will go more of a pinky, almost a red. A little bit hard to see because we're in the shade here, but so yeah, that's quite a nice option one, because I'm even forgetting the flowers, just because these ones do tend to shoot out loads and loads from one plant, and literally all the time they're pushing out new ones. And I think that does sort of fill up a big area, and they don't need a big pot, so you ain't got to worry about sticking a huge pot and sort of trying to disguise it or something. So talking of disguising it, what have I done? I think I did sort of mention this last year. I didn't really do a proper video on it, but so basically you get the coir basket liners. So this is all this is. So I just bought one, I think that's a couple of quid, large one, and I cut it into 3, if you can imagine a circle, and just cut it into 3 pizza slices, and that's just enough to go round a pot, and just a bit of twine, natural looking string or rope or something, tie it to the trunk, make a little sort of bird's nest type thing, as we can see there, just big enough to put the pot in. So going back to the species on this one, is that coming out? Yes, this is quite a nice one. This is a sort of grey green with maroon mottling, and then this is this one I got reduced. Again, I might pay about 4 quid for this because it already flowered, but they do take a while to die off. I mean, this one has no pups on it, but I reckon that'll still go a couple of years before it totally die off, and in the meantime it's quite a nice look. So yeah, I mean, the main thing is to remember is to water them, because they're going to dry out quick. And bromeliads in general, we know you water in the centre, they say, like a little pool in the centre, just to, what they'd naturally do is catch the rain, water in that, and that'll slowly trickle through to the roots. But yeah, you want to give the pot a good watering as well, at least every couple of days if it's hot. And so yeah, this one, like I say, it's like a fireball one. I can't remember exact type. Oh yeah, look, we've got still got the tag on there. So yeah, this is only £3.50, but I remember buying this. It's a really small plant, and that is maybe 3 years, 4 years ago, I don't know. It's still in the same pot, done absolutely nothing with it other than water it. And it's probably, when I bought it, might have had 2 or 3 heads on it. And now look at it, it's massive. So that's a real good option. Another good one, and I haven't got a good example here, but you could use spider plants. They take a while to go on outside. If you've got a particularly large pot, or not a large pot, but a large specimen in a smaller pot with, you know, lots of little ones hanging off, that can look quite nice as well. And of course we've got a bit of the old Spanish moss there as well. So yeah, I mean, I hope that answers the questions for anyone who want to know what type of bromeliads they are. And yeah, just the way I've done it. I'm sure there's other ways of doing it, but yeah, I found it with the fibres on the Trachycarpus trunk itself. This one is really sort of furry trunk specimen. I mean, again, the palm itself is quite rough, just a transplant, which is not really taken off yet. But the point is, if you've got the fibrous trunk, you want something sort of fibrous to match. I know it's not quite the same colour, but still, I think, yeah, it's sort of semi-natural. Right, so that is that. Thanks for watching.